What if inside your body there was an invisible thread connecting your mind, soul, breath, and mood? This thread, ignored in the West but sacred in ancient traditions, is the vagus nerve. It is the bridge between your body and your divinity. While many see spirituality as separate from the body, true spirituality lives within it, expressed in how we breathe, feel, and rest. The vagus nerve is that sacred doorway. When you activate it, you awaken within yourself a profound state of balance, healing, and awareness. You don't need external substances or grand ceremonies. You only need to listen to your inner pulse and learn to vibrate in harmony with it. We'll explore the secrets of the vagus nerve, its path through your body, and how to stimulate it with simple practices like breathwork, sound, massage, meditation, and mindful eating. You'll learn how it connects to your organs, mood, and spiritual health, and how activating it brings calm, balance, and peace. This isn't just knowledge, it's a key to your inner temple. Breathe deeply, feel, and listen as we begin the journey to the heart of the vagus nerve. In modern culture, the body is seen as a machine for the mind, but ancient traditions viewed it as a sacred antenna and living temple for the soul. They believed in an internal channel regulating energy, emotions, and spiritual connection, not as medicine, but as mystical truth. The vagus nerve, known later by Western science, was called a sacred channel by shamans, Taoists, yogis, and Egyptian healers, running from the skull to the abdomen and governing organs, calmness, and spirit. It was seen as the axis of the embodied soul. For example, in Chinese medicine, the Renmai and Dumai meridians form an energetic circuit that runs vertically through the body, closely resembling the path of the vagus nerve. These energetic pathways activate through deep breathing, meditation, and techniques like Qigong, generating relaxation, healing, and mental clarity. The sensations these practices evoke, gentle tremors, internal warmth, tears without emotion, chest expansion, are exact manifestations of vagal activation in modern terms. Yoga, with its pranayama breathing, bandhas, and asanas, aims to balance the autonomic nervous system, which we now know is intimately connected to the vagus nerve. When someone enters a deep meditative state or experiences a mystical epiphany during practice, they are not only elevating their energy but stimulating their vagus nerve, restoring communication between body and spirit. The Egyptians also spoke of an inner Nile current, a sacred flow, connecting the heart to the belly, carrying the K, the vital energy. From a modern perspective, this could be interpreted as the bioelectrical connection between the solar plexus, heart, and brain, territories all influenced by the vagus nerve. Even in the Hebrew tradition, there is mention of the breath of God as an energy that infuses life and serenity into the body. This breath, when consciously harmonized, activates the parasympathetic system, where the vagus nerve is the main player. Breathing, in this view, not only oxygenates but awakens the sacred. What's fascinating is that what was once mystical is now science. Modern research confirms that the vagus nerve is the key to the parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for returning us to a state of rest, digestion, creativity, and spirituality. Stimulating it not only calms us but connects us. This knowledge isn't new, it's ancestral, and perhaps that's why it was forgotten, because it's not just another technique but a reminder. A reminder that peace, clarity, and energy aren't found outside but are activated within. Through a golden thread we are finally seeing again. To grasp the magnitude of the vagus nerve in the spiritual realm, we first need to recognize its function in the physical plane. This nerve, also known as the 10th cranial nerve, is the longest and most complex of the autonomic nervous system. Its name, vagus, means wandering in Latin, because it literally wanders and connects multiple organs, from the brain through the throat, heart, lungs, liver, stomach, and intestines. Its presence is so vast it can be considered the communication system between heaven and earth inside the human body. Physiologically, the vagus nerve controls vital involuntary functions like heart rate, breathing, digestion, inflammation, and sleep. Esoterically, it enables the body to enter states of receptivity, spiritual openness, and deep healing. When the sympathetic system triggers fight or flight, we become tense and reactive. But activating the vagus nerve stimulates the parasympathetic system, bringing calm, introspection, and renewal. In this state, inner awareness grows, brainwaves soften, organs harmonize, and consciousness expands. What mystics call grace, fertile emptiness, or pure presence. It's sacred biology, not magic. Have you ever wondered why many spiritual techniques begin with the breath? Why a deep sigh appears in moments of peace or emotional release? Because the vagus nerve responds directly to slow, conscious diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing deeply, especially directing air toward the abdomen, stimulates receptors that send signals to the brain to activate calm. But it's not only the body that calms, the energetic field opens. When you breathe this way consistently, you begin to feel chest expansion, warmth in the belly, lightness in the head. These sensations are not merely physical. They are signs that energy is flowing harmoniously, that you are beginning to tune into your internal axis. In the chakra system, the vagus nerve interacts particularly with the heart chakra, Anahata, the center of balance, love, and healing. It's no coincidence that activating the vagus nerve opens the chest, stabilizes the pulse, and fosters a more loving connection with the environment. Many people practicing conscious breathing or deep meditation report an inexplicable peace or sense of unity. That is not just metaphorical, it's the vagus nerve doing its sacred work. Another fascinating aspect is the vagus nerve's connection to the throat. Tone of voice, singing, mantras, all affect the vagus nerve directly. Chanting Om, reciting psalms, repeating sacred names, or even producing guttural sounds during meditation deeply stimulates the vagus nerve. This vibration not only calms, but tunes the body as a spiritual instrument. Even emotional crying that arises during therapy or spiritual practices relates to vagal release. It's as if a door opens, and the soul exhales all it had silently held inside. Thus, the vagus nerve is not just an anatomical element, it is a vibrational ladder through which you can ascend and descend, enter and exit, connect with your body, and from it touch the spirit. And this is only the first half of the mystery. Beyond balance and calm, the vagus nerve is also an activator of inner visions, heightened intuition, and altered states of consciousness when worked with intention. So far, we have understood the vagus nerve as a channel of physiological and emotional regulation. But its true power manifests when it transcends the biological dimension and acts as an energetic antenna, connecting the human being with subtler levels of perception, with their soul, and even with the universal field of consciousness. Ancient sages didn't speak of autonomic nervous systems or neurotransmitters. Yet they knew the effects of certain practices: rhythmic breathing, sound intonation, fasting, immersion in nature, body postures, all now known to stimulate the vagus nerve, what they described as soul awakening, inner voice, or God's channel. We can now understand the expansion of perception enabled by vagal activation. This nerve, by calming the mind and relaxing the body, creates space for intuitive consciousness. In more esoteric terms, it reduces the noise of personality so that the vibration of the soul can emerge. In this sense, it is not only a channel of peace, it is a mystical threshold. Recent scientific studies have shown that repeated stimulation of the vagus nerve increases oxytocin production, the hormone of love and connection. It also activates acetylcholine, promoting mental clarity, and reduces cortisol release, the stress hormone. Fascinatingly, these biochemical changes don't just impact the physical, but also modify the personal energetic field, making it more coherent, stable, and receptive. This field, known in many traditions as the aura, becomes more harmonious when the body is in parasympathetic balance. And it is precisely in these states that phenomena often considered paranormal appear. Premonitions, lucid dreams, empathic communication, sudden creativity, synchronicities. Does this mean the vagus nerve is a gateway to the mystical? Indeed, it does, because by calming the body and mind, the human energy channel clears, allowing higher consciousness to descend, manifest, or communicate. Beyond basic practices like diaphragmatic breathing or chanting, there are deeper methods to work with the vagus nerve spiritually. One is induced tremors, used to release accumulated trauma. When the body spontaneously trembles in a safe environment, the vagus nerve enters a deep reset phase. In the silence afterward, many report near-vision experiences or past life memories. 2. Sense withdrawal. In yoga, this technique involves disconnecting the senses from the environment and turning them inward. When the body is still and the mind observes, the vagus activates a sensory blackout, facilitating entry into advanced meditative states. 3. Sound baths. Instruments like Tibetan bowls, gongs, or the didgeridoo emit frequencies that resonate with cranial nerves, including the vagus. Listening with eyes closed in a ritualized setting induces theta brainwaves linked to visionary states and spiritual integration. In esoteric iconography, the spiral symbolizes the soul's journey toward wholeness. Interestingly, the vagus nerve also follows a spiral path. It descends, twists, branches, touches organs, then ascends again. It's not linear. It's a dance between worlds, between instinct and intuition, between the dense and the subtle. Understanding this means realizing spirituality is not far away, but deep within. And the path to heaven is not measured in miles, but in layers of silence, breath, and surrender. Knowing the vagus nerve is a gateway to higher consciousness and deep healing is of little use if we don't apply it. This is why I invite you to integrate this knowledge into daily life. You don't need to live in a temple or a perpetual retreat. Your most powerful spiritual practice can begin now in the silence of your breath, reverence for your body, and presence in each day. The vagus nerve, being a regulation channel, responds better to consistency than intensity. Small habits practiced with devotion and presence have more effect than sporadic great efforts. Here are essential practices to awaken this sacred nerve in daily life. First, deep diaphragmatic breathing. Make conscious breathing a ritual. Each morning before checking your phone, sit quietly. Place your hands on your abdomen. Inhale through your nose, counting to 4. Hold for 2 seconds, then exhale slowly, counting to 6. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes. This breath activates receptors in the diaphragm that directly stimulate the vagus nerve. But don't treat it as mere physical exercise. Breathe as if you were touching a sacred string inside you. Breathe as one invokes. Second, the power of sound, mantras, and vibration. The vagus nerve intensely responds to vocal vibration. Chant mantras like Om, or repeat power phrases like I am peace, I am centered, or I am in a soft, sustained tone. Do this during your shower, walking, or moments of anxiety. The goal isn't to sing well, but to vibrate inwardly like a tuning bowl. Third, contact with nature and silence baths. Walk barefoot on the earth, sit under a tree, listen to natural sounds. The vagus nerve thrives when your nervous system syncs with natural rhythms. Silence is not emptiness, but fullness with your soul's voice. Fourth, mindful touch. Massaging behind your ears, the side of your neck, or the base of your skull stimulates branches of the vagus nerve. Use slow, gentle circular motions. This invites calm and resets nervous tension accumulated through the day. Fifth, emotional presence. When emotions arise, don't push them away. Instead, breathe into them. Ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Acceptance activates the vagus nerve and opens the door for healing and inner wisdom. In closing, remember this. The vagus nerve is not just a nerve but a sacred channel, the golden thread linking your body to your soul. To awaken it is to remember the sacredness of your own embodied existence. It is to rediscover that the temple you seek is not elsewhere, but within. The path to peace, intuition, and spiritual awakening winds through your breath, your voice, and your heart. Breathe deeply now, listen with your whole body, and know that you hold the key to the sacred within you. The golden thread is alive and waiting to lead you home.